Hello, my beautiful people. You're welcome to Naho Blessed Fashion. If today is your first time stopping by, you're super welcome. Please hit that subscribe button and turn on your notification bell so you get notified whenever I upload a new video. Okay, guys, I have a lot of tutorials for you guys. I just need your engagement, please. I need you guys to support me, like seriously. At any point you find any of my video helpful, please do well to give it a thumbs up and subscribe if you haven't. Okay, if you can drop comments in my videos, I'll really appreciate. Okay, and don't forget, notification bell is very important so you get notified whenever I upload a new video. So guys, today we are going to be learning this beautiful dress. Okay guys, to start, I'm going to take note of my off shoulder. Okay, so I'm coming down by 5.5 inches, and this includes my sewing allowance. Okay, that's where I'm going to be starting my measurement. So I just marked out my bust line, which is 10 inches. My chest line is 8 inches. I just marked that out, and then my waistline is 16 inches. My hip line is 25 inches. Okay, and then for my nail line, I'm going to come up by 2 inches from my actual nail line. Please, if you're using a stretchy fabric, just ignore this part. Okay, and then I'll mark out my dress length. Okay, I'll repeat the same measurement just so I get a straight line. So my chest line, my bust line, my waistline, my hip line, my nail line. Like I said, come up by 2 inches if you're not using a stretchy fabric, just so you walk freely. Okay, and then my dress length, I'll just create a straight line. So guys, I'm cutting this as one piece, as you can see. If you want joining at your waistline, all you will do is, it's still the same process. All you do is to just separate it at your waistline, but you have to add your sewing allowance to join them together. Okay, so after connecting this, I'm going to take my bust to bust measurement. Okay, your nipple to nipple divide by 2. That's what I'm just marking out. I'll mark that at my waistline, and then I'll mark my dart of 1 inch from both sides. Okay, I'll mark the same nipple to nipple measurement as my bust line, and then I'll connect it to my waistline, as you can see. So from my bust line, I will come down by ½ inches. Okay, just so I don't have a pointy end at my bust line. Okay, so from that ½ inches, I'll connect to my dart. Connect that to my 2 dart legs. Okay, so this is our dart for the waist. So I'm going to extend the dart to the down part of the dress. Please guys, this is not how to mark your darts. Don't take it all the way to your hip. Okay, to your hip line. That's a mistake, and yeah, I'm just going to correct that. So I'm going to mark 5 inches from my waistline, 5 inches from my waistline, and that's where my dart is going to stop, as you can see. Please don't take it all the way to your hip line. Okay, So next thing I'm going to be doing now is to take my round bust, divide by 4. So guys, at my starting line, I'm going to determine how wide I want my traps to strap to be. Okay, so whatever you're using, even if it's beads, you want to determine how wide it will be. Okay, so for me, I'm using 4 to quarter, as you can see. And then I'm just going to connect that to my chest line. You can give it a curve and you can make it straight. Okay, so from the starting line, I'm going to come down by 1 inches to form my sweetheart neckline. Okay, I'm just going to connect that straight to that 1 inches. Okay, I hope you can see that. So the next thing I'll do is to add my sewing allowance. We already have our bust measurement there, so I just add 1.5 inch sewing allowance. I will take measurements, divide by 4, and then replace my dart. Always replace your dart. Okay, then I'll add my 1.5 inch sewing allowance, my hip measurement at my hip line, and then my sewing allowance. We don't have any dart at the hip line, as you can see. And then what I have at my hip line, I'm going to minus 1.5 inches and mark that at my nail line. You can use 2 inches, you can minus 2 inches, depending on how tight you want it to be. So guys, I want my dress to have a mermaid effect. Okay, so from my nail line, I'm just going to open it up to how wide I want it to be. This is how wide I can go because of the amount of fabric I have. So I'm going to connect my hip to my nail line with a straight line, as you can see. And then with a curve ruler, I'm going to connect my waist to my hip. After that, I'll use my straight ruler to connect my waist to my chest line. So guys, in case you want your underbust tight, you want to tighten up your underbust, I'm just going to show you what to do, but for me, I'm not going to use that. Okay, I'm just going to ignore my underbust. So if you want to tighten up your underbust from your fabric, that's how you're going to do it. You just mark your underbust, round underbust measurements at your underbust line. Okay, mark that out and replace the dart you have within that line. Replace it and also add your sewing allowance. Okay, so you're going to connect your underbust to your chest line and to your waistline, just like this. And this is what you will have. I'll just go ahead and cut out my piece. Remember this, remember the front piece is cut on fold. Okay, yeah, only the front piece is cut on fold. So like I said, I'm going to ignore my underbust. So guys, after cutting it out, this is what I have. I'm just going to place that in another piece, leaving 1 inch for my zipper allowance. Okay, so always make sure you leave your zipper allowance. You can use 1.5 inch. I'm just trying to get my chest line. So this is my chest line. My traps to straps is what I'm just trying to get right now. So I'm making use of 4 inches. I'm making use of 4 inches, as you can see. for the back straps to straps. And then from that 4 inches, I went up a little bit from that 4 inches. And this is optional actually. You can make your back straight. Okay, I didn't even know why I did this, but it still came out nice. So it's actually optional. You can just make your back straight. Okay, when you're attaching your beads or your traps, you just determine where you want it to be. Okay, I didn't even know why I did this, but it still came out nice. So after cutting the back piece, at my waistline, I'm going to come in by um half inch to eliminate zipper bulge, and I'll connect that half inch straight to my chest line, and then I'll connect it to my hip line. Okay, that's at the zipper area. This will eliminate zipper bulge at the back. So from there, I will just cut it out straight. Remember, the front is cut on fold, but the back is cut as two piece. Okay, so guys, I'm going to be cutting a facing for my dress. Okay, I'll be turning it with a facing. I'm using a lining for this, so I'll just place my front piece like this and just cut it out, and my facing will stop at my underbust line. I'll do the same thing to the back piece. So this is basically how you cut your facing. Okay, I'm just going to open it at the center back too. So to attach it, you're going to place it right side facing, stitch it and stop stitch. Okay, right side facing, place it right side facing, you stitch, you open it, push your allowance to the lining side and stop stitch. So for the sake of beginners, just mark out your dart at the other side of your dress. Okay, and this is how you stitch it. You fold it like this, and then you stitch the that leg you are seeing like this. You just stitch it all the way till you get to the end of your dart. You do the same thing to the other side. Okay, you stitch your dart leg like this. I hope that is clear. I'll do the same thing to the back piece. Okay, so guys, I've gone ahead to stitch my dart like I said, and I have attached my facing. Okay, this is my back piece. I've gone ahead to stitch down the dart, and I make a loose stitch at my zipper side. Okay, this is where I want my zipper to stop at my hip line, so I made a loose stitch to my hip line because we are going to lose it. And then from my hip line, I made a normal stitch down to where my slit is going to start. Okay, so my slit is starting from my nail line, so I made a normal stitch and then stop there. Then from this, for the slit, I'm just going to get some hemming gum. You can actually stitch it down if you don't have a hemming gum, but if you want a neater job, please just get a hemming gum. Okay, so you don't have any stitch showing. So guys, you just place your hemming gum just like this, and then iron it down. I'll do the same thing to the second side. Okay, so guys, after ironing, this is what I have. See how beautiful our slit is. So the next thing I'm going to do is to place my pieces right side facing, my back piece and my front piece right side facing, just like this, as you can see. And I'm going to stitch the two sides together. Okay, I'll stitch it all the way to the end. Okay, and then I'll attach my zip. If you don't know how to attach your zipper, please, I have a video on my channel already. You can check that out. And then I'm going to hem the down part of my dress. So I've done that, guys. I've stitched it down together like I said. This is how our bead is going to look like. We are going to do the second one together, okay? So I'll be making use of needle and thread. I fold the thread into 8, okay? So at the base where our traps is going to be attached, I'm going to add a little bit of I'm going to add a little pieces there to make that place thicker, okay? I just want to be in a safe hand. I don't know, you can actually ignore it. So yeah, I'm going to stitch that place very well. Just take your time and stitch that place very well. You don't want your beads to disappoint you, okay? So just take your time, make a very strong stitch there before you start attaching your, make sure you're using a matching thread, okay? Make sure you're using a matching thread and try not to make that place rough, okay? Just make a very neat stitch around that place. I'm taking my time to show you guys, just so you make sure you secure your traps very well, okay? This is beads, you can't just trust it, and it's heavy, so I'm making use of 29 beads, okay? So I'll just put my 29 beads after putting it, and I'll just go ahead and stitch the traps, stitch it at the back side. I try to make use of the piece like I did to the front side, okay? So just stitch it down. Same thing you did to the front, please take your time and do it to the back piece, okay? So guys, I'm done attaching my beads, I mean my traps. Oh, no. Okay, the next thing is our rose flower. You can actually use this dress like this, okay? Our rose flower, my nipple to nipple measurement is 3.5. So I'm just going to make my rose flower 3 inches round, okay? You can use the same color of fabric you're going to be using for the rose flower. For me, I don't have enough, so I'm just going to use what I have to get what I want. So guys, I'm marking 3.5 inches actually. That includes sewing allowance, but I just wish I made use of 3 inches instead, including sewing allowance. I feel like it's bigger. So guys, this is how it's going to look like, okay? So I'm just going to cut out extra 3 pieces of this, okay? We will need 4 to make our rose flower, okay? So guys, I've gone ahead to cut that out, and 2 for each side. I'm going to stitch it around leaving like 1 inch to turn it inside out. Okay guys, I've done that. As you can see, I'm going to turn it inside out. I'll do the same thing to the other one. So I'll go ahead and top stitch this part. So guys, I've done that. For the rose flower, I'm making 2-inch wide. This is bridal satin, but I will advise you use organza if you have, and that's what I'm even going to use. I'm just using this for the sake of this tutorial. When I get to the market, I will sure get an organza to use for the rose flower. So at the starting point of your rose flower, you want to make it smaller. So I'm just marking out 6 inches from the starting point, and then I'm just giving it a little bit slant. I've just slant it a little bit, as you can see. And then for the base, I'm going to take the midpoint. I'm going to mark out the midpoint. I have a detailed tutorial on rose flower. You will sure love it, guys. I will drop the link in the description box. You'll sure love it. I have a detailed tutorial on rose flower. Made it for a client and it came out so beautiful. You're going to love it. Just check out that video. Okay guys, I'm just trying to create the lines I am going to follow while stitching. This is how full I actually want my rose flower to be, but like I said, I don't have my organza at the moment. So I won't be able to follow this line right now. I'm just going to stitch it down based on how this fabric is going to take me. So if I get my organza, this is how close it's going to be, because I always want my rose flower very full. But for the sake of this tutorial, I'm just going to use the amount of fabric I have. So you want to fold the starting point of your rose flower. Just give it a little fold. You fold it in a triangular manner. And then you give it a little fold, just like this, and then you stitch it down following your lines. This actually depends on how full or how wide, how relaxed you want your rose flower to be. Guys, this is our beautiful rose flower. It actually came out very beautiful. I think this is okay. You don't really have to make it actually okay. Actually depends on your preference. So to attach it to your fabric, your dress, so you just place it however you want it to be and use your needle and thread to stitch it. So guys, I'm just going to pin this down and show you guys how it looks. I still want to use organza for it, so I'm just going to show you guys. And this is our beautiful dress suit. Okay guys, thank you for watching. Please don't forget to give this video a thumbs up. See you all in my next video. Thank you and God bless you. Bye.